everyone. It's time to eat, drink, and be merry with your hosts, Lisa and Nancy.
Welcome to Big Blend Radio's Eat, Drink, and Be Merry show with Nancy and Lisa. We're the mother-daughter travel team on the Love Your Parks tour, and together we publish 2 digital publications. We've got Big Blend Radio and TV magazine that does have food and wine, and Parks and Travel magazine, and that takes us around the country, or I should say across the country and around the world, and you can check them all out. Just go to bigblendmagazines.com. So this, late spring, Nancy and I spent some time in Palisade and Grand Junction in northwest Colorado, and what a beautiful area. So you're in the Colorado Plateau. The area is home to the Colorado National Monument, also the Grand Mesa, which is the largest flat-top mesa in the world. And it is beautiful. It's got the Colorado River, but also very importantly, it is the heart of Colorado's wine country. And Nancy, we did damage. We had a really good time. We really had such an awesome time because the wine is, there's around 30 wineries or so around the area. And there's a fruit and wine byway that goes through Palisade, which goes through all the peach orchards. It is absolutely exquisite. And the wine is incredible. And there's also port, amazing port, and that's what we're going to talk about today. We have Lynn Goebel joining us. She is from Graystone Winery. Her and her husband run that in Palisade. And their port, oh my gosh, that was quite an afternoon we enjoyed with this port. Was it evening, Nancy? Sunset. And they have the golden hour in Palisade where this is a perfect time to enjoy your port. So I encourage you to go to their website. It is GraystonWinery.com. So, Lynn, how are you doing today?
I'm doing very well. I'm glad you enjoyed your visit.
Oh, we did. We enjoyed our visit. We enjoyed our port. Your port is phenomenal. And I was reading that you're the only port house in Colorado.
We are. We specialize in port. We do it very well. So we thought we'd just do what we do well with all of our energy. So
that's it.
We have one
port. Okay. Yeah. Not go, and do other kinds of varietals, but really focus on port. And that kind of is interesting to me because I know that you specialize in ruby red. I was going to go click, ruby red high heel shoes, everybody. But ruby red ports and white ports. So when we think about port, what is the difference between that and wine? Is it a specific grape, or is it the sugar concentration, or what is the difference?
Actually, port is a fortified wine, so it's 19% alcohol. So the history behind port is that our beloved England people loved wine. They unfortunately had a war with France, so they had to import their wine from Portugal, and it would spoil along the way. So they, being the industrious people that they are, figured out that if they added brandy, it would act as a preservative for the wine. So that high alcohol content turned out to be a preservative. Yeah.
Okay,
so,
I like that.
Yeah. And Portugal actually has come up with a law that other countries cannot call a fortified wine port. We, however, have been making it so long that we were grandfathered in, so we are allowed to call our fortified wine port. Other wineries, if you go there, you may encounter the fortified wine instead of the port.
Oh, how interesting. So
yeah,
the port, so it's kind of like Burgundy and Champagne. You can't say Champagne, because that is like trademarked and owned by an actual region. But so how old is Graystone? Because I know you purchased Graystone, but how old is it, the winery itself?
It started in 2000.
Okay.
So and we actually were growing grapes for the original owner, and they wanted to retire. So they called us up and said, you guys have got to buy this, because we'd been supplying their grapes since they opened. And so they called us up and said, you've got to take this over. So be careful what you wish for. That was pretty amazing to have a winery land in your lap.
Oh man, this is that's really cool because the tasting room too. I know it's Tuscan style, but Nancy and I realized we did the barn quilt tour and went around photographing all the barn quilts, and then we realized you were one of them. So we actually stopped by a second time, just so you know. We came running around.
Wonderful.
To photograph your barn quilt, but yeah, because it's interesting the name because your tasting room is like made out of big gray rock, really, on the outside.
Yes, it was named for the Book Cliffs. There's a lot of the Book Cliffs have many colors in them, but gray is a predominant one. So they named the winery after the Book Cliffs here that surround the valley. And we have a horse on our label because of the wild horses that you'll find in the Book Cliffs. Did you have a chance to pursue that?
We did get out there with the wild horse area. So the Book Cliffs are kind of like it's part of that whole range. You have these beautiful ranges, hills and cliffs, and all the geology out in your area is absolutely amazing. But we did go up hiking out in that area. Unfortunately, we did not see the horses. We did. Yeah. We wanted to take the port to the horses and say hello because your logo is a wild horse, isn't it?
It is indeed. Yes. That would have been perfect to toast the wild horses, wouldn't it?
I know. But like
they weren't in the mood, I guess.
No. I think we went at the wrong time. But I have to give a shout out to Absolute Prestige Limo because they actually took us out there into the back. I was going to say the backwoods, but it's not really woodsy out there. It's more hoodoos and cliffs and the geology. But they actually took us out there hiking. Jolene, she took us out there.
Wonderful.
And took us on a beautiful drive, and so we kind of went, on a little adventure with them. So I had no idea a limo company would do that, but apparently you can take your port and go in a limo on the Rimrock Drive in Colorado National Monument, even with them, which is amazing. So who knew, So there's
Wonderful,
all kinds of ways
right?
to get around, but do you get a lot of cyclists that come into your tasting room?
We do. Our fruit and wine byway that you mentioned is just wonderful to either drive through or pedal through. The lavender farms and the vineyards and the orchards, it's really quite beautiful. So it's a cycling mecca.
Yeah, that's one of the fun parts about your region is you can be outdoors and then enjoy really good food and wine and port. So the port, is it when you say it's fortified wine? Because I know you're making white and red. So are those the two different kinds of grapes? Are there specific grapes that you're using?
You can actually make port out of anything. So our ruby red ports are a blend of about 50-50 Cabernet and Merlot grapes. And then we do also make a white port, which is rather unusual to find, and that is made out of Pinot Gris grapes.
Oh, okay. Wow. And so, like
cool.
You're saying, all locally grown, right? Because that's what you and your husband have been doing over the years is growing these grapes. So who's doing the wine making, or I should say the port making part of it all?
It's really a family affair. We have two sons that grew up tending the vines with us, so they do most of that. I used to do all of it, and then my husband kind of took that over. Now I have the lovely job of smelling and tasting.
Oh, I'm coming with you.
Best part of that deal, I'll tell you. But we all really get together and harvest and grow and make the wine together. And but I am the official taster and smeller. So
that's funny. That's nice.
Well, yeah. You've got your ports. You got 5, 6, and 7, right? And then Lipizzan. And it's interesting when you look at as you grow and get more and more. But like, how long does it take for a bottle to be ready for enjoyment?
It's a labor of love. Those Roman numerals on our ports correspond to the years that the grapes were harvested.
Oh.
So the 2005 port is now a 15-year-old port. So it is truly a labor of love. Yeah. Wow. We actually age them the wines separately. So I told you we have a blend. We age the Merlot separately from the Cabernet, so they can each really develop their own flavor. And then we, after they age in the barrel for 7 to 8 years, it's really a matter of supply and demand, and we will blend them and then let them sit together for a while and decide if they need anything else.
Wow. So how many,
Cool.
how many cases do you think you make? Like,
That's my husband is the. Yeah, we're a very small boutique winery. And my husband is the number guy. So
okay. I'm not going to be able to count or add.
Right. He has to do the numbers. I do the tasting. That's the way we worked it out.
Well, here's the deal. There's no way you can do the tasting and the numbers, right, Nancy? That's
right.
We have to split it up. So you've also won a double gold in international competition. So that has got to be really exciting when you think about it being an international competition. So are you going up against Europe and Portugal, or who else is making port that you're competing against?
Well, it is international. So we've competed against many countries. We've actually had people who go on the Portuguese wine tour and come back and tell us that they love our port, which is the best validation you can get, I think, is from people. The double gold is actually judges agree that it's the best wine in a wine competition. So it's unusual to get a double gold simply because everybody's palate is so different. So for all of the judges to agree, that's pretty rare. So we've been thrilled when we've gone up in these international wine competitions to get several double golds. It's quite thrilling. Yeah.
Nice.
Well, we really enjoyed it, and Annette and Trey Lewis over at Dancing Moon Bed and Breakfast, which is really, you could actually walk to from your tasting room. They were raving about you, and you have to meet her. You've got to go and taste the port. And we actually took the port over. We did a radio show from the inn right the day before we left, and so we brought the port because I know she loves the port, and she wouldn't even take any because she's like, no, you and Nancy have to have that special. I have some, and it's so special that you've got to just savor it for yourselves together. And we did, but we were like, we wanted to share, and when we tasted it, we're both like, this is like liquid velvet, like came to mind.
Yeah.
I mean, it was like fruit forward yet at the same time light. I don't know how you do the texture and get the flavor. That balance is. It is precious. This is, I wish my body was made up of port. Your port. Okay.
Flowing through the veins. I love it.
I know. It is so good. I'd be cutting myself all the time. But it's really, really, really special. And that's what Annette was saying. And I have to say she was really right. We sat outside and we watched the sunset here. And I know you have the golden hour. And where you are, and we kind of have a golden hour here where we are right now in Southwest Colorado, and you suddenly slow down, and I think port does that a little bit more than wine in slowing down. I know it's more like a dessert wine and everything, but there's a real, just calm down effect that it has that I really appreciate. I think we need more of that in the world, just to calm down, So
absolutely, absolutely. Well, I'm glad you enjoyed it, and port because you've been tasting ports from around the world, right? Australia, and
South Africa,
all over.
A little bit, yeah. The last really good port we had was from Texas, Messina Hoff Winery, and they were one of the first Texan or wineries of Texas. And I would say the two of you were, I was pretty amazed because I didn't even think America, back in the day, I never thought America made port. I didn't even think about that. I didn't even, and there's not that many wineries making port that I've seen, actually, when I think about it.
No, there aren't. Yeah. And so that we decided to specialize in it was kind of a big step of faith, but we believed in our products so much that we've been very successful doing that, and very grateful to have our loyal customers who follow us. So that's always
what's
good.
interesting? You're in Palisade, and Palisade's such a charming, small agricultural community. You've got the river, and you've got all the outdoors, and the mountain biking, and all these reasons why people flock to your area. But and not over flocking. It's just like the perfect balance. But when you do these international competitions, are people going, "Where's Palisade?" Are they shocked that the port is coming from Colorado even?
I think they are. We've had people stop by and say, "Well, we've heard of your port, from New York or, different regions where we've entered." So that's quite a testimony. We're thrilled to have our name out there and to have that loyal following.
So what do you pair your ports with?
Oh, this is the fun part. We have so much fun. Oh, yes. I actually make port brownies, which is just delightful. You substitute the liquid with port, and they are fabulous.
Wow.
It's kind of fun. They're amazing with any kind of nut. Walnuts especially pair really well with port. And then we have an event of barrel tasting in the spring every year, not this year, but normally. And we import a wheel of Stilton blue cheese, and then we pour a little port in there and mix it in, and it's truly amazing. As I said, the British have, they're the makers of Stilton cheese, and they're the ones who really helped to develop port. So they had this combination down, and it is a winning combination. Any kind of strong cheese and a glass of port is delightful. And, of course, chocolate, anything chocolate. So I'm sold.
Yeah,
real chocolate, now. not the other stuff, not that watered down stuff. Real chocolate. You got to have real,
absolutely,
good, really good chocolate with port, because it is an experience. It's very much an experiential, wine. For especially dessert. But I love the cheese part. Now I'm like, we need to come back and see you. do people buy online?
Please do.
Can people buy online from you?
Actually, we can only ship in Colorado because of all of the new laws.
Oh,
so
really?
That's unfortunate. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, we've had many people all over the nation, especially having entered these international competitions that we used to send to. And so with the new laws, we're just such a small boutique winery that we can't possibly have 50 permits in all the states.
Oh,
so
yeah, right.
Yeah.
But can you work with a distributor to be in liquor stores or wine stores in different places or no?
We really don't. We looked into that, and our production is so small. We have, we tend all of our own grapes. We grow without pesticides. We're really particular about our grapes. And so each vine is lovingly tended, and we have such a small production that we can't really go into the distribution. So in order to get this wonderful port, you have to come and see us.
Okay.
Yeah, that's cool
back,
too.
Come back.
I know. Okay. But that's but there's something to that too about traveling and getting to know an area and having something special like that when you come in. And so now, people know that when you do go, stock up. You're gonna want it.
Absolutely.
Stock up then. But it's interesting too, because you talk about you're tending to the vines, and I know, Nancy, you get into that. It's like the geek out part of it. When you're tending to the vines, do you have like pests that bug your area when it comes to growing the vines and keeping them healthy, or is it different? Because from what we saw, it looked like all the vineyards had like really unique microclimates compared, like you could be next door and it will be completely different with in regards to the vineyards and the health, and it just seems like you have a lot of microclimates.
We do indeed. We do. As you said, each vineyard is different. And we've also noticed the years are different. We've had, different years that will produce different flavors. It's just amazing. Depending on humidity, how much rain we get, all of that just makes a difference. We can tell differences in the year. Like I said, we try to do everything exactly the same, but each year has its own unique flavor, which is really kind of fun.
Yeah, I like that.
That's cool.
Yeah, and then so you just have to watch that. You guys don't seem to have like a bunch of pest kind of things, and I don't know. I mean, that can happen with anyone, right?
We do, yeah.
Okay.
We do our own netting because, of course, the birds are a problem. And we, as I said, we don't use pesticides, so we use clove oil and different things to try to protect our plants if we notice, something's coming on. So, yeah.
I've never heard of clove oil for vineyards ever. Yeah.
You know what? It smells great. I can always tell when we've applied it. Yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
What a good idea.
I know. It's like tea tree oil is really good, and neem for things, but I wouldn't know to put it on a vineyard. I've never heard of that. So would that work for people at home with their own grapes, that they're growing their own grapes, or even if they have like a home vineyard, that would work to use clove oil?
Yes. I think they could look it up and see, I would hesitate to say because I only know our varieties and I don't specifically. There are so many varieties of grapes. I would hate to say, yes, apply it, and then have it not work with that individual variety. So I think that would definitely be something worth researching.
Okay, very cool, very cool. Well, this is really cool. I think everyone, again, you can go to GraystoneWinery.com and have a look and learn some more. And you do have a club, though. So if you're in the area, you can join a club, the Graystone Club.
Yes, absolutely. We have a port club. And for those people in Colorado, we ship twice a year. And so we give discounts during those 2 months, typically March and October. And then we ship those out at a discount. So if they can't make it over to the Western Slope, we can still get the port to them.
It's all about the slopes, Nancy.
It's the slope again.
Everything's like we're on the Western Slope. I love it. Well, I think this has got to be a big deal for the holiday season. Your port has got to be like the ultimate Christmas present. Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
It is. It's wonderful in front of a fire. There's something about port and a fireplace that were made for each other. But I have found that you can take that to outdoor fire pits easily in the summer as well.
Yeah, why not? That sounds good to me. Well, thank you so much for joining us, and thank you for our lovely port. We enjoyed every drop, and then we cried when it was gone. And we don't. Yeah, that's it. And that is when you find special bottles of joy, of goodness, like what you've produced and crafted. It is just one of those special things that, when it's gone, you do kind of, you shed a tear, So again, everyone, when you get there, get a case because you're gonna cry when it's over, So we're gonna play some music for you. We love to play music for our guests, and this song is aptly titled "Holy Water." It's from the album by a blues artist, Allison August. It's the title track to her album, and it's a beautiful song. So everyone, you can keep up with Allison August. She is in the middle of recording her next album, and we'll get her on her show as soon as she's ready for that. And you can keep up with her at AllisonAugust.com, and that's Allison with 2 L's. And again, keep up with Graystone Winery. Just go to GraystoneWinery.com. Thank you so much, Lynn.
Well, thank you. No worries. Thank you. And stop by next time you're through the valley.
Oh, we will. You bet we are. Oh, we are, for sure.
Sounds great. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
I've been working